Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to God's Girl Keisha. Of course, I'm Keisha. And today we are documenting our physical self-care. Yes, I am out on my lunch today and I'm taking a walk, and I decided to bring y'all with me. They're doing construction out here, so that's what you hear. Might not be the best place to be doing a video, but okay. Y'all see our lake out here? We got a lake. So anyway, I'm just out here taking in some of the sunshine. The weather is nice today, very nice today. And we have some nice scenery out here, so I'm out here taking a walk because I need to for several reasons. Walking, of course, releases serotonin in your system, which calms you and makes you happier. It brings your mood up. And then I need to lose some weight. I need to lose about 20 pounds. That's what I'm trying to do. So walking also helps with that. Another good reason to get out and to walk is because you get this good old vitamin D, y'all. God's vitamin D. And vitamin D does so much for us as far as our moods are concerned. Your muscles, your joints. It just, vitamin D, look up vitamin D and see all the things that vitamin D does. So that's another reason that this is awesome physical self-care. And it doesn't have to be a long walk. It can be 15 minutes, it can be 20 minutes, and you will see the difference in how you feel physically and mentally and emotionally. So wanted to add that as well. I just wanted to check in with you all. I hope you're doing something today to help with your self-care. I hope y'all are feeling good today. It's Tuesday. It's springtime. Y'all, I love the spring. I love the spring. I also wanted to share with you all that I see a lot of talk on social media, YouTube, about bariatric surgery. And I just celebrated, I would say in October, 10 years since my bariatric surgery. And people have asked me several times, like, do you think I should have the surgery? And I don't give anybody a yay or nay on that. The only thing I can do is talk about my experience. And my experience with bariatric surgery was awesome. It's one of the best decisions that I could have made for myself. I am diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. You've probably heard that acronym, PCOS. And it severely affects your hormones. And for me, it was very, very difficult for me to keep weight off. Very difficult. So what most people have to do to lose weight is what I had to do just not to gain weight. So it was very difficult. So I found that I started to gain weight around the time that most people would start their cycles. So most people start their cycles, you know, around 5th grade, 6th grade, off in there, or maybe a little later. So around the 5th grade is when I started to pick up weight. And from that point up until my surgery, it was just very difficult for me to lose weight and keep it off. Around my 12th grade year, for whatever reason, I just threw off a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight with really not much effort from me, but I did lose a lot of weight in my 12th grade year. So I was about 36 when I had the surgery. And from graduating from high school to 36, I had gained 100 pounds. A whole 100 pounds from when I graduated from high school. And of course, it was affecting me in other ways as well. It was just very difficult for me to keep weight off. Very easy for me to gain weight. And that's just what PCOS does. It affects your hormones in a major way. And it also causes insulin resistance. And all of those things cause you to gain weight. Now, in my case, because I have family history of diabetes on both my mother and my father's side, it caused me to develop diabetes at a young age. I found out that I was diabetic when I was 31 years old. which is pretty, I think, young to find out something like that. And so I had diabetes, and then later on after that I started to have blood pressure issues and things like that, because you're carrying around an extra 100 pounds on your body, so it's going to take a toll on your health. So around that time, when I was about 35, because I had the surgery when I was 36, around 35, the beginning of 2013, or no, the end of 2012, I was around 35 years old. The doctor had changed my diabetes medicine, and the new medicine was making me sick, and because my old medicine was no longer keeping my blood sugars under control. So my doctor prescribed a new medicine. However, the new medicine was causing me to be sick. I was feeling very sick. And so at that point, I just began to pray, and I was like, Lord, I don't want to be on this medicine for the rest of my life. I don't want to have to try to balance these blood sugars for the rest of my life with, trying to just do it with my eating. Seemed like it wasn't working, and the medicines were making me sick. So for me, like I said, I just began to pray about it, and I said, Lord, I need something else. I need help with this. I don't know what else to do. So I just started Googling. I got on the internet, and I was looking for cures for diabetes. Is there a surgery you can have? Is there anything you can do for diabetes? And actually gastric bypass surgery came up. And what I found was that a majority of people who had gastric bypass surgery were able to come off of diabetes medication. So when I realized that, I was like, man, okay, so this might be it. However, I was afraid. It's a major surgery, and I was like, is this something I really want to do? I had never had a major surgery before. Thank God. My health has always been, pretty okay. So I had never had any major surgeries or anything like that. When I prayed about it, I just felt peace about it. I was like, this is your answer. This is your answer. That's just kind of the way I felt. This is your answer. So, so I started to look into it, started to look into doctors in my area. I went to some classes on it, to get the information about the surgery. And I did a consult with the doctor. We talked about it. And so I was thinking of doing the sleeve surgery. And when I talked to my doctor, he kind of educated me on that. He said, well, if your goal is really to rid yourself of diabetes, or to, get off of your medication, then gastric bypass would be the best way for you. So I agreed. We started the process. I had to go see a psychologist. I had to see a psychologist. I had to see a heart doctor. I had to do nutrition classes, and different things. And but as a blessing to me, fortunately for me, my insurance paid for mine 100%. And so I had the surgery in October of 2013, and from October to 2013 until now, I have not had to be on a diabetic medication for diabetes. And I say that because I am currently on metformin, but that is just as because metformin treats symptoms of PCOS. So I'm on that because of that reason, but I am not on it because of diabetes, because I have not had diabetes since 2013. So that's why I say for me, it was an excellent decision. Now, sometimes PCOS is cured as well through gastric bypass surgery. I've heard some testimonials about that. For me, it did not cure me of PCOS, but it did cure me of diabetes. I have not had to be on any medications. Now, of course, I am still considered pre-diabetic because I was diabetic, and but I am not diagnosed with diabetes, and I don't have to take any medicines for that. So for me, for that reason, if for that reason only, it was worth getting the surgery for me. Now, another thing is, with the surgery, I lost around 80 pounds. I've since, in the last 10 years, I've gained back about half of that. So I've gained about 40 pounds since the surgery. However, I'm still 40 pounds less than I was before the surgery. 10 years later, which according to my doctor means that I am doing very well, because most people by now have gained that weight back, if not more. That's just kind of the way that it goes, because if you don't change your eating habits, you can still gain the weight back. You can still gain it all back. I eat a lot better and a lot less than I did before the surgery. So that's probably why I haven't gained all of mine back. But I still got a long way to go in my eating habits, which is why I have gained the 40 pounds back. But for me, overall, would I do it again? I most definitely would. If only, like I said, just for the fact that I am no longer diabetic. That has been such a huge blessing in my life. I thank God for that all the time. I give God praise for that all the time, because I do feel like he gave me the peace to go ahead with the surgery, and I thank him for that. And even the way all the events took place, and I didn't even have to pay for the surgery at all. And so that is another one of my testimonies. But for me, like I said, I feel like having gastric bypass surgery was one of the best things that I have done in my life. I feel like it has been just such a major blessing to my health. A lot of things I can't eat anymore. I can't eat a lot of sugar anymore, which is great. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. I can't eat really rich things anymore. They make me sick. I can't eat big amounts of food still to this day, 10 years later. Still can't eat big amounts of food. I can eat a lot more than I could, of course, when I had it 10 years ago. But I still can't eat, like, just big amounts of food. My problem was what I ate. And I love the sugar. And that was but that's also part of PCOS. It causes you the hormonal imbalance with PCOS will cause you to crave sugar. So it was just, a lot of things that were working against me in the area of losing weight. So that's why I don't, I know people have all of their different views on bariatric surgery, on gastric bypass, of, you're taking the easy way out and all of that. Listen, my opinion is use the tools that you are given, because a lot of times we think that people, when people are overweight, that they are just eating too much. You just eat too much. You just need to stop eating. You just need to exercise. You just need to do that, do this, and do that. Which, not saying that those things are not true, but when your body is predisposed to crave things that cause you to gain weight, that's a different story, And a lot of times we don't know what people are going through. We don't know what their issues are. We don't know, what's going on with them physically as to why they're dealing with the things that they are. So I don't shame anyone for how they choose to get their lives back on track, or how they choose to lose weight or become healthier, because I will say this: I am healthier than I was when I was 30 years old, and I'm 46 now. I have more energy. My mood is better. It was a lot of things going on with me at that time. Hormonal shifts cause your mood to be off, just all kinds of things. So I will say this: for me, having gastric bypass surgery was one of the best decisions that I have ever made in my life. Most definitely would do it again. It's easier for me to lose weight now than it used to be. When I decide that I'm going to start eating more vegetables like I am now, eating more vegetables, eating more lean meats, if I do intermittent fasting or whatever, the weight it'll come off. It will come off. So that was something that it wasn't that way before. I would do all kinds of, diets and all of that people's like, oh, I lost 12 pounds. I lost 20 pounds. I lost 25 pounds. And I would do it and I wouldn't lose anything, or I'll do it for a whole 2 months and lost 2 pounds. And that would really mess with your motivation and cause you to quit. So for me, like I said, now my metabolism is different. My metabolism is better. So it's easier for me to get the pounds off now. And it's easier for me that's why I've been able to keep a lot of the weight off. It's because my metabolism is better. I can eat things now and not notice that I've gained 2 pounds in 2 days. So for me, it was an awesome experience. And I decided to share that, because I see a lot of people do post gastric bypass videos and it's like a year out, or it's, a few months out or a year out. But for me, it's been 10 years and I'm still having positive results from it. So You know, so I don't know if anybody is thinking about it, they're on the fence about it. I will say this: talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor. They know what's going on in your body. They know what your ailments are. They know what your issues are. So talk to your doctor, and talk to a couple of doctors before you make that decision. But for me, it was one of the best decisions that I could have ever made. I know I've heard stories of people who have had a lot of issues with that, a lot of issues afterwards, and who have had you know, had to have several surgeries after because it just didn't sit well with them. They had, you know, problems with their stomachs afterwards. I did not have any of that. My recovery was quick. It was easy. I think I was off work for about 2 weeks, and then I went right back to work. I didn't have a lot of the like sickness afterwards. The only time I would have sickness is if I was eating the wrong thing. If I tried to eat the wrong thing, it would make me sick. But outside of that, I didn't have a lot of sickness. I will say this: afterwards, they want you to be on a strict diet of pretty much no carbs. But what I found out for myself is that, even after I read a lot of people's experiences, if you go absolutely no carbs afterwards, it can cause some other things to kind of be imbalanced in your body, and you'll have like different smells. Your breath might stink. I noticed that it said that some people would have like this milky type of, like spoiled milk type of smell, body odor, and I was not about to have that. So I did have some carbs in my diet. I didn't eat a lot of them, but I did have some carbs in my diet, and I think that's what caused me not to lose like a whole 100 pounds or more. But for me, the 80 was enough. I've never wanted to be skinny. That's just not my thing. I've never been skinny, so I don't have anything to miss. So I never wanted to be skinny. I just wanted to be smaller than I was and get to the point where I look good in my clothes and felt good about how I looked, and I was healthy. That was the number one reason for me. I wanted to not have to take medication anymore. That was my number one thing. But like I said, I never wanted to be skinny. That's never been my thing. I just wanted to get down to a size that I liked. And I actually got below. When I had gotten to the point where I had lost 80 pounds, I actually gained back about 15, and that is where I really liked the way I looked. When I had gotten down 80 pounds, that was a little bit too much for me. I was just looking too puny, I guess, to myself. But right there is where I wanted. So that's where I'm trying to get back to. So that's why I want to lose 20 pounds, and I'll be about back where I was. So 20-25 pounds, I'll be back to where I was at that point. So this is not a weight loss channel. This is not what this is. This is not what I want it to be in any way. But I did want to share that story. I did want to share that with you all, because you just never know who might come across these videos. You never know what decisions they're trying to make. You know, and I remember too, I wanted to share this when even though I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was in my early 20s, it was a doctor that I have, the doctor that I have now, honestly, who explained 100% to me what PCOS is and how it affects your body. And I can just remember feeling so defeated and like a failure because I could not maintain my weight or get my weight down to where I wanted it to be. And when she sat down and had a talk with me, because I actually went to the doctor and I was just very defeated. I'm being honest, I felt very defeated. I was like, this just seems like the thing in my life I cannot conquer, you know. I think I'm a very determined person. I think, you know, but that was just the thing in my life that it just seemed like I could not conquer. But when she sat down and told me exactly what PCOS is and what it does to my body, she let me know, listen, this is not your fault. She was the first doctor to tell me that this is not your fault. I'm not saying, what she was saying is, she's not saying that I don't need to change my eating habits and I don't need to exercise more. But what she's saying is my body is predisposed to gain weight. It's predisposed to be diabetic. It's predisposed to have insulin resistance. So it makes it a whole lot more difficult for me than your average person to lose weight and to keep it off. And that helped me a whole lot. And that's why it's very important as well to choose the right doctors. Because some doctors will come in and give you a diagnosis, but they don't tell you anything. They don't tell you, listen, this is what it's doing to your body. This is why this is happening. This is why that's happening. And we walk around defeated over something that, you know, if we get the right doctor, we can fight it in the right way. So even with her just putting me on metformin, which is a diabetic med, but it helps with the insulin resistance. So it's helped a whole lot just with the PCOS symptoms, the hormones, and the hormonal issues, and the emotional roller coaster rides, and all of that, and the cravings, and it's helped with all of that. So finding the right doctor is very important, and don't be so hard on yourselves. You know, give yourself grace. Do what you know to do, but give yourself grace, because nobody knows except for you, your doctor, what you're dealing with and why you struggle with your weight. I just wanted to share that today because, like I said, you just never know who might come across this video, and I wanted to be encouraging. Most of the reason I said, I think in my first video, is I started this channel because I wanted to be a help to people, as to others as I've been helped, you know. So certain things that just come to mind for me to talk about, I'm gonna pop on here and talk about it, because somebody needs to hear it. Somebody's going through what I was going through at that time. Like I said, I'm taking my walk today. I had to stop for a minute because my arm was hurting trying to hold that phone. I was like, okay, let me prop this phone up somewhere and finish this conversation. But I am about to finish my walk, and if you have any questions, please put those below, and I will definitely be checking the comments. All right, we're finishing up this walk, y'all. I'm headed back into work to complete my work day. I'm also going to vote today. Y'all going to vote today? I hope we're going to vote. We need to vote, okay? I ain't telling you who to vote for, but please vote, okay? Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all on next video. Much love and many blessings. Bye-bye.